Hi, welcome back. If you clicked on this video, you're probably interested in dancing in Dallas, or you just want to know what happens or what kind of club to try. I get a lot of questions about what is the best club, and that's kind of an objective question, and I have more of a subjective answer because there are a lot of different types of clubs and a lot of different types of dancers. Basically, I have not one answer, but a lot of answers for you. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is, if you're like a new dancer, I'm going to give you some terminology so this will make more sense. But there are three different types of clubs I'm going to talk about. There are gentlemen's clubs. Gentlemen's clubs are, quote, more upscale. They might expect you to wear a skirt or a dress, and the way that girls usually make money at gentlemen's clubs are not really on stage, but more through giving dances, like VIP rooms or private rooms, or getting paid to like talk to people. So it's kind of like a more mellow environment, but it's like bougie, not really super fun kind of environment, but just gentleman's club is like a gentleman's club. And then the other type of club is called an urban club. And an urban club can also be called a hip-hop club, but urban clubs are more like they play just like hip-hop or rap music. Tessie, come here, come here, come here. No chewing buns right now, please, okay? But urban clubs, you'll hear mostly just rap music. Dancing is really important here, like your stage presence. They like you to be like blinged out, you know, like really cool outfits, a lot of sparkles, kind of stuff like that. And also, it depends what kind of urban club it is, but a lot of the clubs, there are like sections, and people will get sections and then they'll throw money. And you're basically there to just kind of like twerk and like be lit and be hype and stuff like that. But that kind of is what to expect at an urban club. You won't really find like VIP rooms here, but you'll find sections, and it's more about like money being thrown and stacks of money, stacks of bills and kind of stuff like that. And then the other type of club is called a mixed club, and a mixed club is kind of a combination of the two, although they might lean more towards an urban club just because of the music and the environment. It's more of a party environment. But the only difference between mixed and urban clubs is mixed might have VIP and champagne rooms, and they sell dances, but also there are stages. So consider mixed clubs kind of like a combination of the two. So those are the three clubs I'm going to talk about, are gentlemen's clubs, urban clubs, and mixed clubs. I haven't been to all of these clubs, but I've heard basically information about all of these clubs, but I'm just going to give you the most transparent answer I can about all of these clubs. So I basically have a list of the different clubs. Now also, what you have to know about working in Dallas, Texas. Now all of the clubs are open right now, and there are almost basically no COVID regulations right now. Some clubs do require a mask, but other clubs don't. So it's just kind of like really open right now, and there are no plans of shutting Dallas down right now. Now the other thing I'll have to say about Dallas is that for most of the clubs that you're going to work at, they require a background check. Now each background check, if you have an out-of-state ID, it'll cost $100. And if you have a Texas ID, it'll cost $60. But you will need a background check for each club that you work at. You can't have just one background check that applies to everything. It's just... Hey, Tessie, come on up. But you'll need a background check for each club that you work at. I told you the three types of clubs you're going to find in Dallas, Texas, and I'm going to tell you kind of the top clubs for each of those, for each of those lists. So if you're more into gentlemen's clubs and you're more into like VIP and selling dances and you don't really care too much for stage dancing, these are the clubs that you should look for. So as far as gentlemen's clubs go, probably the top gentlemen's club in the Dallas area would be considered the Lodge. The Lodge is generally the best gentlemen's club in the area. It has really good reviews. It's a more mellow environment than the rest of the other clubs. The stage isn't amazing here. Don't expect to really make money on stage. It's definitely more of a dances and VIP type of club. Other gentlemen's clubs would be Baby Dolls, the Men's Club, Spearmint Rhino, and Silver City Cabaret. Now moving on to urban clubs, probably the top urban club in Dallas is probably Ecstasy, just because it's the biggest club. And it's definitely more of an after hours club. They don't even really open until 9, and they are open until like 6 in the mornings. So Ecstasy is a good urban club. After that, DG, I think it is a good environment. The one thing I do have to say is that they did require a schedule, so if you can't really commit to 3 or 4 days a week, it's probably not for you. DG is good. DG does have kind of like a sister club, and that would be Ace of Dallas. To my knowledge, it's probably like DG. And then after that, V-Live. There was also a shooting there not too long ago, so it might not be the best option right now. And other urban clubs are Dallas Cabaret North, Dallas Cabaret South, Pandora's, and then also Tiger Cabaret and Zona Rosa. Those would be considered the urban clubs of Dallas. Now moving on to mixed clubs. Again, mixed clubs are kind of like a combination of gentlemen's clubs and urban clubs because there are dances and VIP, but also stage. Mixed clubs in Dallas would be Bucks Wild or Bucks Cabaret, and also Rick's Cabaret. Rick's Cabaret is actually considered to be in Fort Worth, but it is close enough that I think it also is considered a Dallas club. So those are pretty much the clubs in Dallas. The only clubs that I don't really have any comments on is just because I don't really have like any knowledge on those clubs are PT's Men's Club, which is more towards Plano, and then there's Lipstick and Jaguars. That kind of sums up all the clubs in the Dallas area. Now most of the clubs are also all in the same location. Some other questions that I get about working in Dallas are, if you are a new dancer, what club do you start at? So most of the time I will say Bucks Wild or Bucks Cabaret or Rick's Cabaret. So basically a mixed club, and that is because I think you should start at a mixed club so you can decide whether or not you like VIP more or you like dancing, like stage and throwing and money throwing and all that kind of stuff. So kind of if you like gentlemen's clubs more or urban clubs more, or if you like a combination of the both. But that's kind of my answer. One thing I recommend to a lot of traveling girls is, especially right now, Dallas is getting a lot of traveling girls because other parts of the country are shutting down due to COVID. So, hi Tessie, can you take a break from that right now? Tessie. Sorry, my dog is chewing on a bone right now. But if you're traveling to Dallas, you're getting a lot of traveling girls, so when you go in and you audition at a club, probably not say that you're traveling, probably say that you are moving here, just because they'll feel better about hiring you. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram, honestly, and I'll do my best to answer. That is pretty much all I have for this video. So feel free to message me or comment any more questions that you might have about working in Texas, and again, I'll do my best to answer in the next video. But that pretty much sums it up for this video. So Have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time.